Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sedge Garden. We are delighted today as we continue to celebrate celebrate the trust that the citizens of Winston-Salem put into the city of Winston-Salem by the approval of about $139 million of bonds year before last. And now we're starting to see those projects come to fruition. This is a great example here as we break ground on this Sedge Garden Recreation Center expansion to add a gymnasium and to add facilities here to serve this part of the country. We're delighted to be here with Mayor Pro Tem Burke. You'll hear from her in a moment, and from Councilmember Mederma Montgomery. Also glad to have our city manager, Lee Garrity, here, and members of his staff that you'll hear from. I wanted to also recognize Nick Jameson, the former director of our Parks and Recreation Department, who's here with us, and Mr. Jim Conrad, who's part of the city's Recreation Commission there. So we're glad to have everyone here today as we celebrate this great occurrence. You know, I spoke several times about the fact that we worked hard with citizens to come up with a package that citizens could support, and they obviously did by the overwhelming support that they had for the bonds. In fact, some of the bonds were approved with a margin of over 70%, which is really kind of unheard of when we said to the voters, if we approve these, we will have to adjust the tax rate by 2 pennies. And the voters said, we understand that, but we understand that the city has a lot of needs, and we can't do those every year just out of the regular budget. So the use of bonds is one great way for cities to build capital projects and address their needs. So we're delighted to be here this morning as we really get the ground going for this wonderful facility and this expansion here. At this time, I'd like to ask Mayor Pro Tem Vivian Burke to come forward and make some comments as well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The mayor has set protocol. He's introduced us about everybody here. I don't believe did I hear Mr. Grant's name? He's here. He's over recreation. I want you to know that this city is blessed. It's blessed to have people who live in here, this wonderful city, who volunteer in a positive way to make a difference for all of us. As I look back, I looked at Mr. Jameson, and I'm sure he can tell a story about the parks and recreations. And I know he's so happy that the time has come that pretty soon we'll be talking about the Jameson Park. We appreciate employees. We appreciate citizens. And I want you to know we are transparent. When you have a commission or board to work with you, they keep you well informed. I was speaking to Ms. Driver not long ago, the assistant city manager who works with this department directly. The importance of making sure we keep our history intact. And we let citizens know how much we appreciate them. If you were to travel around the country and you talk to other elected officials, they will tell you that we're a very progressive city. They will tell you that we make sound investments so that our citizens can feel good about where they live and the things they do. So I say to all of you, God bless all of us as we move forward to continue to make our city a very beautiful place for all of us to live, work, and play. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Councilmember Burke. Now I'd like to call on Councilmember Mederma Montgomery, a councilmember from the East Ward, and he will be followed by Mr. Tim Grant, who is the director of our Parks and Recreation Department, who will be operating this facility once it's built. So, Darwin.
It is a great day in the city of Winston-Salem, but it's even a greater day in the East Ward of our community as we are here to break ground on this facility today. When the bonds were passed, prior to the bonds being passed, and as council was debating what was going to be put to the voters, we had the community groups who got together and recommended projects, and council came in and began to look at it. One of the things that was very important to council was making sure that projects were equitably spread out throughout our community, meaning that they weren't concentrated just in one part of the community, but that the entire city benefited from the dollars that were being invested. And I'm happy today that we're able to bring this additional facility expansion here to the Sedge Garden Recreation Center in a part of our community that is in need of just this type of facility. One of my favorite poems, Bridge Builder, talks about a man, an old man who was building a bridge. And people came by and they asked the question of him, why was he building this bridge in this place? And he looked up to him and he said that he was building a bridge because there would be other people who would need to use that bridge. And I am so happy that we're building this facility here as a bridge builder for our community. One where I'm excited for the time when we'll come and we'll see basketball games and kids playing, for the senior games, the yoga classes, and all of the other things that will take place in this facility because we're able to expand it here. The communities and the neighborhoods that exist around here will have a facility that's very close to their homes where they can now enjoy the same things that other people within the city of Winston-Salem are able to enjoy. So I'm happy today that this part of our city, this part of our community is getting an expansion of the services that they deserve very much so. And I am excited for the day when we're going to snip the ribbon and open it up, and we're going to see all of the excitement, all of the interaction, all of the community coming together to enjoy this facility, because at the end of the day, it's for the community that this rests in. So again, to city manager, to staff, and to all others who've helped us to get to this day, we're going to be excited even more when we have the time where we're going to cut the ribbon on this facility. So again, thank you all, thank you to the voters, and thank you to the community for this facility.
Good morning. Thank all of you for being here. This is an exciting day in the Sedge Garden community. It's exciting because when this recreation center was developed a number of years ago, it was built so a gymnasium could be added. And today's the day that we break ground for a 6,500 square foot gymnasium addition to this facility. This will allow us to expand our program offerings here. We'll have basketball, as Councilmember Montgomery mentioned, basketball, volleyball, dodgeball. We'll have a facility that we can expand our exercise program and do more Zumba and aerobic classes, and we're just very excited. I would like to thank the city manager and his staff. I especially thank city council, the mayor, for their support, but especially thank the citizens for voting yes, because we could not have this expansion without our citizens voting for it. So today is a great day, so if you see me smiling from now until this time next week, you'll know why. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim, and certainly members of the community that are here. We're delighted, and I'm sure you're delighted that this expansion is coming to serve this area. Also, on Thursday, as Councilmember Burke alluded to, on Thursday at 1:30, we'll be breaking ground on Jamison Park on the other side of the city. It's named after Nick Jamison, our former Parks and Recreation Director. Ms. Burke also wanted me to remind everyone what a great job our marketing and communications department does for every one of these. We're keeping them busy right now because we're breaking a lot of ground. We're cutting a lot of ribbons, and that's a good thing because the city's really moving forward. And to Presswood, your work with the engineering department did an amazing job in getting these projects moving to this forward. So now we're here to do what we're here for, and that is to break ground. I asked Councilmember Burke, Councilmember Montgomery, Tim, Ms. Conrad, as chairman of our Parks and Recreation Department, to come up. Anybody else? Okay, just come around back, and we'll do this.